Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Welcome into Golf Central on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Whit Watson alongside Tripp Eisenhower. This week's Australian Open brings holiday cheer to golf fans on TV. Some of the notables teeing it up starting Wednesday evening in prime time at the Australian Golf Club in Sydney. Jordan Spieth is back to defend his title at Australia's National Open. Last year, he beat Ash Hall and Cameron Smith on the first playoff hole at Royal Sydney. Jason Day is also in the field this week. The former world #1, still Australia's top-ranked player, tied for 11th at the WGC HSBC Champions back in October. Cameron Smith trying to avenge that playoff loss against Spieth last year. He picked up his first PGA Tour win in April at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. And Curtis Luck is back this year after finishing as low amateur at this event in 2016. He played 12 times on the PGA Tour in 2017, and he made 7 cuts. The Australian Open, the first of 15 worldwide events in the Open Qualifying Series. 3 players who finish in the top 10 and ties at the Australian Golf Club who are not already exempt will earn places in the 147th Open at Carnoustie in July of next year. PGA Tour events, part of the series, the John Deere, the Greenbrier, and the National next summer. In Europe, the Irish Open, the Scottish Open, and the French Open, all part of the Open Qualifying Series. Final qualifying across 4 sites in the UK, from Scotland south to England. And, of course, the 2018 Open Championship, July 19th through the 22nd. They are going back to Carnoustie for the 147th Open. The Australian Golf Club is hosting the National Open for a record 20th time. Not only did Spieth win this event last year, he also won it in 2014 when it was played at this same golf course. So expectations for Jordan should be pretty high this time.
Well, of course they should be, because the last 3 years he's won it twice and he finished second the other time. And the year he's having, Whit, it is just fantastic. You look at Jordan Spieth in every way, how his game has just been on fire. Statistically, he improved dramatically in the areas he needed to, mainly his irons. He's the best in the business from 125 to 175. The putting actually were not by his standards very solid at 42nd in strokes gained putting, but when you're hitting it as solid as he is and giving himself as many opportunities, I look for Jordan Spieth to hold another one of those trophies come the end of the week.
And he comes in hot. These are his last 8 worldwide starts, 2 wins, 7th or better in 6 of those starts, scoring average just over 68. Rounds inside the top 10, 20 of those. Last summer, he won the Travelers and the Open Championship in consecutive starts. He is only the 2nd American to win the Australian Open more than once. Jack Nicklaus won it 6 times. That gives you an idea of what kind of historical company we're dealing with here.
Well, but hey, Jordan Spieth keeps putting his name next to Nicklaus and Tiger in the record book, so by the end of it, he may have 6 of these trophies. Who knows? And the other neat thing for Jordan Spieth this week is he's got his teacher Cameron McCormick on the bag, because Michael Greller is around for the birth of his child, which is, of course, takes priority over going over to Australia. So we'll see how Cameron handles a little bit of heat over there in Australia, because remember, it's their summertime and it can get quite warm this time of year. So Cameron McCormick, he didn't bring the light bag because he said he would get too much ribbing, so he does have the full staff bag, but it'll be great for this pair to win together. We've seen players and teachers do it over the years, so it would be another little notch in his belt, if you will, for Jordan Spieth.
Well, you think about Jason Day and Cole Swatton, all the time they spent together, and Day is in the field this week, making his first start at the Australian Open since 2013. He tied for 6th that year. The last time he played this event at this golf course, 2004, when he was an amateur. Just a little baby Jason Day. No one knew back then, Tripp, what he would become in the years ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, blossomed off the web.com tour, and, you know, just a steady rise to world #1. That's a long way from where he was right there, but a former world #1, Jason Day.
He's finished in the top 25 day in each of his last 8 starts, so he also has some form as he comes to his national championship. 3 top 10 finishes in that span. As you take a look at the previous 10 starts compared to the last 8, 39 under in his last 8 events worldwide compared to 2 under in 10 starts prior to that. When you talk about Jason Day, you have to talk about the injury situation. He went through a whole laundry list of what he's been through over the last 12 months or so. So, question is, who will have the better week in Australia, Jordan Spieth or Jason Day?
Even though Jason Day's trending in the right direction, he's still not fixed enough of the holes in his game for me yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see a duo or a match between this duo coming down to the ultimate last hole, but I think Jordan Spieth would be the last one standing. The thing that Jason Day has problems with is his proximity to the hole. He's never been that great at getting the ball close to the hole. He relies on great, proficient, long-distance putting outside of 15 feet. When he was world #1, he was by far the best putter outside of 15 feet. This year, those numbers have suffered. He's dropped precipitously in all the categories outside of 15 feet and, more importantly, inside of 10 feet. So he may be trending in the right direction, but he would have to have a great week with his irons. And we've seen Jason have those kind of weeks. If he does that, he'll be part of the story. But again, I think Spieth is the guy to take down. All eyes point to him holding another one of those trophies. I just think he's got some time off. He's rested. We've seen him do this match before, winning here, flying over, and dominating the field at Hero a couple of years ago. And then, of course, what he did in 2015. Just amazing stuff. So I look for Jordan Spieth to be the guy to have the slight edge over Jason Day.
Some really good holiday viewing as you can catch Jordan Spieth and Jason Day in action this week at the Australian Open. Coverage starting Wednesday night, prime time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Golf Channel. The topic of distance in golf is one that has increasingly come up for debate lately. The Wall Street Journal recently quoted USGA Executive Director Mike Davis as saying, quote, "I don't care how far Tiger Woods hits it. The reality is this is affecting all golfers and affecting them in a bad way. These courses are expanding and are predicted to expand. All it's doing is increasing the cost of the game. The impact it's had has been horrible." Now, in response, Titleist CEO Wally Uihlein said in part, quote, "The only people that seem to be grappling with advances in technology and physical fitness are the short-sighted golf course developers and the supporting golf course architectural community who built too many golf courses where the notion of a championship golf course was brought online primarily to sell real estate." Uihlein's comments, part of a letter he wrote to the Wall Street Journal in response to Davis's comments. When we come back on Golf Central, Tommy Fleetwood's victory in the race to Dubai, in his own words, how the Englishman captured the points title on the European Tour. Later, alternate shot with Matt Adams and Jeff Shackelford. Which player will bring home the most wins in 2018? Golf Central continues.
Golf Central is brought to you by the Volkey Design SM6 wedges, progressive design, precision performance. Grip Confidence, Grip Golf Pride.